A very good morning, students. So let's continue with our Node.js programming. In the last lecture, we have just seen the complete theory of your node, that what actually it is, how the modeling actually it is, how to work with Node.js or how to start working with Node.js actually. And now in this lecture, we are going to see one single example that will give you the complete idea of your Node.js, how actually it is working, how you can execute the CRUD operations, and everything we are going to see in this particular example. So let me know if my screen is visible properly, first of all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we are not going to go through the PPT, but I'll just open the first part, that how actually you need to work on it. We'll go to nodejs.org. Okay, just a moment. I think there are some. Okay, Node.js. It's Node.js. Fine. Yeah. So this is how you can see for your Windows application. You are having two options. What you need to do is you need to just get this one or anything that you like, but I will go for this one. I will not download it. I'll just stop it. I'm just showing you what you need to do. Once you download, you just execute it. Once this is done, what you need to do is go to your command prompt and just check whether your node has been installed properly or not. Is the command prompt visible properly, guys? Because almost everything is being done on the command prompt. We'll write down the code and we'll also execute, but is the command prompt visible properly? Right. Now you can read the content, what I'm going to write down. That's what I'm asking. Okay. So first of all, you'll write down node-v. So you'll get what version of Node you have installed. So my version of Node is 14.16. I said 4.6 in the lecture, I think so, in the previous lecture, but it's 14.16. And then you need to check whether the Node package manager is installed properly or not. So what I will do, I'll say npm -v. We will say what is the version of my Node package manager. So first two commands will give you the complete idea that whether your node and your node package manager has been installed successfully in your system or not, right? Once this is done, what we need to do is we need to create the first part, that is server. Okay, so let's write down. Let's first create one folder in this your particular path. So I'll go to this C drive, users, rv add, and let me just create one folder called test. If it does not exist, yeah, it is there. So now I'll go to cd, sorry, yeah, test. This is the folder. And then I need to write down npm install express. I'm only installing the express server, nothing else. I'll just hit enter. Let it get executed, and in a few seconds your express server will be created. Now what I need to do, I just need to open this folder in my Visual Code. So I'll write down code dot, so it will open that particular folder in my VS Code. I hope you guys, you are able to see this VS Code. You can see the test folder is there, but you may or may not find out the package.json file because now it is hidden file. In the latest versions of your node, right, the package.json file is made hidden because you don't, or user is not allowed to make any type of unwanted changes in this particular file. So right now the file is hidden. We need to create a new file called index.js. So I'll say index.js file. And then I'll write down console.log, let's say hello world. I will save this. Now I will just go to this my command prompt and I will say node index.js. You can see hello world has been printed. You can see the hello world has been printed. So this is how you start working with your Node.js program. I hope now I am clear. This is the first basic program of your node. Am I clear, guys? This is how you start working with your node. Anyone, any queries? Okay, so now let's move on to the... Yes, sir.
સર આપણે આ ટેસ્ટ નામના ફોલ્ડરમાં npm ઇન્સ્ટોલ એક્સપ્રેસ કર્યો એટલે એ સર્વર ત્યાં ઇન્સ્ટોલ થયો તો આપણે ગમે ત્યારે પ્રોગ્રામ બનાવી ત્યારે એ ફોલ્ડરમાં દર વખતે સર્વર ઇન્સ્ટોલ કરવું પડે?
No, only one time process.
ઓકે.
Yeah. Any more queries, guys? Okay, so now I'm going to close this. I don't require this server, and I'm going to start working with the CRUD operations. I already have application created by me using the Node.js and its servers, and I'm going to demonstrate that complete application only to you directly. I'm not going to write down any codes. I'll just show you how you can execute Node applications. So again, let's go to command prompt. Just wait. Yeah, and then I'll directly go to that folder that already I have created. I just need to know which folder I need to use. Okay, Node CRUD. So this is what my folder is, Node CRUD, the demonstration of complete CRUD operations of Node. And let me just open it in my VS Code. Yeah, so this is my Node CRUD option folder, and this is my index.js file or whatever file I require. And you can see, because this is the earlier versions of my node, the package.json file is available, and that file will contain the application name, the version, then what is the main file of that. This is index.js file, then body parser, express, and MySQL. So everything is available here. So I don't have to worry regarding any components of Node that I want to use for its execution. Okay, so I just close this file, and we are going to work with only index.js file, nothing else. So now let's try to understand this index.js file one by one. Okay, in this lecture only we are going to execute this file, nothing else. So let's start working on it. So first thing is, I'm going to say, because I'm going to work with CRUD operations, right? So I'll require a database, and for database, I'm going to use MySQL. So first thing I'm saying that I want a MySQL instance in my application. So I'm saying const variable, right? Constant variable MySQL is equals to require MySQL. It means that whatever components you have in your node, from there, I require MySQL to be integrated with my application. Secondly, I'm saying I want an Express server for my application execution. So const express equals to require express. So from here, I require the Express server also to be used in my application. Right? So two things I already defined, that I require MySQL. I also require Express server. And I'm saying that this Express server will be used by this variable called app. So app variable is going to execute or work with Express server that I've created and I'm going to use. Right? So these are the first three lines that are important in your Node.js application. Clear with these three lines, first of all? Clear with these three lines, everyone? Anyone, any queries with these lines, then please let me know. I'm saying that I require the MySQL to be used in the application. I require an Express server to be used in my application, and that server will be interpreted and will be accessed by variable called app. That's it. Next thing, because I'm going to work with my MySQL, I need to create an instance of it. So I'm saying where SQL connection in short, will be MySQL, and I'm creating a connection to it. So I'm going to use MySQL for database, and I'm creating the connection through it, and that connection will be the localhost server. The username of that MySQL will be root. There won't be any password, and the database that I'm going to use for executing this node application, CRUD operation, the database name is Node Pro. And multi-statements true means and will be able to execute more than one SQL statements at a one time, at one instance. So I have created the connection with MySQL using the following components where I'm saying my server will be localhost, my user will be root, there is no password set for root user, and the database that I'm going to use is Node Pro. Right? So let's check whether we have such things in our MySQL or not. So this is my local host. I hope you can see. This is my Node Pro database, and inside that database, I have one table called employee. So let's see the structure of that employee table first. So this employee table contains 4 columns: ID, name, employee code, and salary. None of them are given any type of constraints. No primary key, no foreign key, nothing has been set. Only 4 columns with 4 data types have been defined. So this Node Pro database is containing one table called employee. Right? So I'm trying to make a connection through my Node application to this database called Node Pro using this statement that we have just referred. Right? So clear guys so far? Everything? Clear with these statements? Any queries, anyone? Anyone, any queries? Anyone, any queries?
Sir, sir, what do you mean by line number 10, multiple statement
As I
true?
said, multiple statements equals to true means at a single moment you can execute more than one SQL statements. એક સાથે વધારે SQL statements execute કરવા માટે તમારે એને true કરવું પડે.
Okay.
Any more queries, guys? Anyone? Okay. The next step says that let's check whether the connectivity has been done properly to a database or not. So for that, this is what the code has been written. If you want, you can just go through it once. SQLcon.connect. I am trying to connect to the SQLcon variable, but it is trying to connect to this particular database called Node Pro. And I'm creating an array of errors. If there is no error, say that there is a successful connection between your application and your database properly. But if it contains some error, then provide all the errors in a particular JSON file and make it in the form of array. So I'm creating the array of the errors, and those errors will be displayed in the form of JSON. Because the node will be using only and only JSON files, or I would say JSON components. Everything will be dealt in the form of JSON. So I'll use the JSON component to display all the errors that are made while connecting the application to a database if the connection fails. Right? So this about 7 lines mainly checks whether the connection has been made properly between the application and the database, or if there is an error, display it using the JSON component. Right? Clear? Clear, guys? So these lines are just checking whether there is a proper connection between the node application and the database or not.
Sir, in line number 20, in this function
Line number?
you had 20.
Line number 20, console.log print failed, and along with the failing, I am just using this JSON component and its function called stringify. Stringify is going to print all the error messages that are that a particular JSON has got from this particular console sql.sqlcon.connect. And I'm saying that I want all of them in the particular array format, and undefined comma 2 is the parameter that we need to set by default whenever we are writing this particular statement called json.stringify. Unknown errors are also to be printed, in short. Right?
Yes.
These are the parameters that you need to use compulsorily, in short. Okay, moving on to the next. We have data, we have created the server, we have got the instances of the server, we have got the connection made to the database, we have checked whether the connection is proper or not. Now, let's start working with execution of all these things. So let's move on. So let's say, just a moment. Okay, so I'm saying that app.get, so I'm using the get request method. You learned only 2 methods, get and post, right? So get is going to get the response from the server, and post is going to send the response to the server, right? So I'm using app.get. What is app here? App is the server's variable that I'm going to use. So I'm saying that get the request, get the response from the server and print it on the browser screen, right? So I'm using that. What I want to print, I want to print welcome to the Node.js learning. Now, what actually this particular app.get contains? This is important. This is very much important. So it says that app.get slash. So here I'm saying that what URL I want to use to print this particular message. What URL I want to use to print this particular message. So if I written here slash, it means that immediately once the server starts, I want to print this thing. But if you want to say that I want to print this thing once the server starts, and if I write down slash ABC, then this is my URL. This is my URL. Okay. So this first part is your URL part, that what you want or what you want to print and through which URL. That's it. Then comes request response component. So server would be having a request as well as the response. So both the parameters are here set for a server, for this app server to use this get method, right? So this is by default compulsorily component of your node or your app server ultimately, that it requires request, it will use request and response parameters, and you can use these parameters to print or to use it in a proper way as per your application's requirement. Right now, I want to just print the message that the server is responding. So I'm using res, that is response dot send, and then I'm writing welcome to Node.js learning. So this thing will be printed on my localhost browser ultimately. So app.get, I'm using only slash. That means once the server executes, I want to print this thing directly. That is, I want to print the response from the server called welcome to Node.js learning. Right? So these two parameters are mainly managing the request and response that are made to the server. And right now I'm just printing the response. So I'm writing res.send and printing the message. Then I'm saying that app.listen, and I'm saying 3000. So I want that my server is to be executed on 3000 port number. So this is my port number 3000. And once if this server is getting executed properly, number is getting executed properly, I'm just printing a message called console.log server started at port 3000. Right? Server.log port started at 3000. So you can change this port number to anything. Let's say I'm saying port number 5000. I'll say port started at server 5000 or server started at port 5000. So this we require to execute our server. This thing we require to execute our server. Right? So I'll just say execute these two things right now. So let's say I'll save it. I'll go to my command prompt, and then now I want my server to execute anonymously and asynchronously. That means I just save my application and my server will get refresh automatically. So for that, what command I have already installed? The command is node mon. Nodemon is a command that is going to refresh your server automatically once you save the changes in your code file and reflects all the changes to your server. So I'll write down nodemon and hit enter. So what it says, nodemon version is 2.06. It will restart automatically anytime if you want, but if you want to restart it manually or forcefully, you need to just write down rs, and you can see I have got server started at port 5000 message. So you can see here this message has been printed. That means the server has got started. The server is now executing properly. And also I got one more message called success. So this success message is from here. The database connectivity has been made and the connectivity was successful. So what we did right now, we started our server. We tried to start our server. So we got, yes, the server has started properly. This message we have got. And also we tried to make the database connectivity and we got this message called console.log success. So two things has been made properly. We have got successful message for two things, the server execution as well as database connectivity. Right? Clear so far? Clear, guys?
Hello, sir.
Bolo. Yes.
સર આપણે ડેટાબેઝ કનેક્ટિવિટી પહેલા કહી દે તો પહેલા એક્ઝિક્યુશનમાં ઈ ના આવે.
No, first the server will execute. If the server is getting executed properly, then and then the database connectivity part will be made. Otherwise not. That is the benefit of a node, that it first try to execute the server. If the server is executed, then and then it will go for all the other operations, including database connectivity.
સર
Right?
આપણે આને ટોપ ડાઉન એપ્રોચ કહી શકીએ કે
Sorry?
ટોપ ડાઉન એપ્રોચ કહી શકીએ આની અંદર આપણે
In what sense top-down approach?
એક્ઝિક્યુશન કે ઉપરથી લાઈન બાય લાઈન એક્ઝિક્યુશન થશે કે આપણે કેમ મેઇન ગોતે એવી રીતે થશે પેલા જે મેઇન હશે ઈ એક્ઝિક્યુટ in the sense કે અહીંયા
Not necessarily, because ultimately, whenever you are working with the node, ultimately, if you write down your server execution code at the bottom, first thing that is going to do is only going to execute the server execution code. Then and then rest of the codes will be executed. So we cannot say it is purely top-down approach.
Okay.
Okay. Any more queries, guys, or is it clear so far everything? We have started the server on port 5000. We got the success message for database connectivity. Any queries? Anyone? Then please let me know. Anyone? Any queries? Okay, fine. I'll move on to the server then. So now let me just go to my localhost. I'll write down localhost, and then I'll write down a colon and provide the port number on which my Node.js application is getting executed. So I'll write down 5000 and hit enter. So I got a message, welcome to Node.js learning. You can see this one, this message we have got. So I'll say, welcome to introduction of Node.js CRUD operations. I change this file now. I will save this. I saved it. I'll go to command prompt, and automatically the server will have the refresh part, and you just need to just a moment. There is some issues with the node mod. Okay. Just a moment, guys. There is some issues with the node mon. Yeah, now it's working properly. There is no problem. Okay. Fine. Let me just work with nodemon only directly. Fine. Okay, so we have got our message printed on our console, that is browser console. So now our server is executing, the database connectivity is done properly, and yes, we are able to see the message that we have already printed here, that I don't want any URL, only I want, once I just execute the server, I want to print this message. I hope I'm clear till now, right? So now let's move on with the database operation, and the first operation that we are going to see is read operation or select operation. So let's see this first operation. So I'm saying app.code, just a moment. Yeah, app.get, and I'm saying that once I write down /enp, I want to execute the following code. Once I write down /emp in the URL after the localhost :5000, if I write down /enp, I want to execute the following code written here. So what it is managing the request as well as the response. So I'm saying sql.con.query, and I'm writing down the query that selects star from employee table. I'm fetching all the data from my employee table. And then I'm also providing 3 parameters. Now, what are those parameters? The first one is error. If this particular query has some errors, fetch those errors and store it. Otherwise, store all the rows that we got as an output, and also the column names called as fields. Also the column names called fields. Here the columns are referred as fields. Remember this word. The columns here are referred as fields. Your rows are referred as rows. So we are passing 3 parameters. The array of errors, if the query contains any errors. Otherwise, the complete data along with the rows and its columns, that are fields. Then if there is no error, then print your all the rows. That means print your data. The data will be in the form of JSON. And what data I want to print? The rows that we have received on executing this particular query. So data is the JSON component. and colon rows will be fetched from here. Whatever output this select star from employee has given to us, right? And if this contains any error, then I'm just printing all those errors, right? So clear with this, guys? The first select operation. I am executing the query. I am passing three parameters, the array of errors or the array of all the data as well as the fields, that is your columns of the table. If there is no error, I am just printing using the JSON component called data, and I'm printing all the rows one by one. And if it contains any error, no rows will be printed, only the error will be printed here. Clear with the first part, select operation? Then I can demonstrate the code. Then we can go for the output. Am I clear, guys? So let's go to the URL, and after this 5000, let me just write down EMP. And if I just hit the enter, this is what my data is. You can see on your screen, you can have two types of data, a raw data in the form of JSON or a parsed data in the form of JSON. Whatever you like, it's same. It's just a display part, nothing else. So I have three columns in my three rows in my table. So all the three rows are already available in the output. So select query has got executed properly. It has fetched all its data and its columns and everything and printed here in the form of JSON. Clear, everyone? Now, everyone clear with this?
Sir, can we write any another variable name instead of data?
No,
Or
you
data
cannot.
should be.
Even if you want, you can, but don't try it out because data is the inbuilt JSON component of online repositories. If you want, you can change, but data is generally we use for fetching up all the data from the JSON variables. That's why you can use. It is just a variable representing all the rows of the table. Okay. Yes, error is a predefined array name for storing all the errors that is being generated by the code. Any more queries? Or it clear? Shall I move on to the next operation then? Kapil, am I clear? Error is an inbuilt component. Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. So I'm moving on to the next operation then. So we have seen the select operation. Now let's go for the insert operation, that is create. Even if you want that you want a specific ID, where ID data in your output, you can use the same thing. See, I'm saying that after EMP, I'm going to write down one ID, and that ID data I want to see in my URL. Let me just show you the output first. Let me say I'll write down /10, or let's say /2 only. I'll get only ID2's data in my output. So you can use a select query with the condition. So how to execute it? There is some different parameters. You can see I have provided :ID variable here, and then it is managing a request response. The select query has been written where ID equals to question mark and comma. I am just passing the ID that has been used here directly. Request, I'm using the request variable now, REQ, because I'm requesting on a specific data. So I'm requesting params, the parameters that has been used in the URL, and that parameter is ID. So params.id, and rest of the things remains the same. Rest of the things remains the same. So I'm requesting a particular ID's data in the particular query. So select star from employee where ID equals to the ID that has been passed as a parameter in the URL. So I'm requesting that data from this particular database or table, right? So this is the second one, selecting specific employees from the database. Moving on to the next, the insert operation. So now, whenever we are inserting any data, we are actually sending the data from our application to the database. So ultimately, we are using post operation or post method. So now for inserting the data, I have used post, right? And I'm saying on what URL I want to send my data to the database. I'm saying when I write EMP-INS, right? Then you need to send all this data to the database and execute the query. So I'm saying when I write EMP-INS, execute the following code. So I'm saying let EMP equals to request.body. So whatever I'm going to request here, I'm storing it here in a particular variable called EMP. Then I'm saying where INS equals to insert into employee, I'll just change the data. Let's say 3. Let's say Raj. Let's say ROO2. And let's the salary be 25,000. Right, I'm changing the query. Now I'm saying that SQL con.query INS. So I want to execute this INS query, right? I'm saying that the complete body of this query is to be executed in the single variable called EMP. So EMP is to be executed on this particular rows and columns. And if that contains any errors, then just display those errors. So create a new row with this and using the fields that are defined already in the table. And I'm using this req.body, the complete line, as a single variable called EMP. So this EMP is the syntax to execute your insert, update, or delete query, your data manipulation language query, DML queries. So this is going to be executed on this particular row and fields. I'm going to insert this data as a new row for all these fields. And if there is no error, I'm going to say data inserted successfully. Otherwise, print the errors. So this query is now considered as a single variable called EMP. And now using this structure of executing the post query or any of the DML operations, I am saying that try to generate this new row for the given fields in the table. So this is how we actually insert the data in our table or database. Just go through it once and then I'll discuss how you can actually execute this particular code. EMP is the syntax of Node where you need to represent your query as one single variable. You cannot write down INS because this INS is going to execute on this EMP where this EMP table is going to represent your complete employee table of your database. EMP is your representation of your entire table stored in the database. So I'm executing INS query on this EMP variable that is representing your complete employee table. Remember this thing. Rest, everything remains the same. Shall I show you the output now? Shall I show you the output? Shall I show you the output? Okay, so let's go to this URL and let's write down EMP-INS. You cannot get EMP-INS. So whatever you write down here on the URL, those are considered as a get methods only. So you cannot directly use post methods on this URL. That is the problem. That is the actual problem. So whenever you are working with the node and you are using any other methods other than get, then you require an API executor. You require API executor to execute all your queries of DML. Only select can be executed directly on your URL because it is a get method. But for executing all these operations for insert, update, and delete, we require API executor because all these are considered as a API. So for that, you can use any third-party API executor, but VS Code itself provides one API executor, and that is Thunder Client. That is Thunder Client. You can just remember the name called Thunder Client extension of VS Code. We just go for new request. Okay. And then what I'm going to do here is I here need to provide only the URL. So I will say http :/localhost : 5000, and I want to execute post method. So I'll select here post, right? And then I'll say I want to execute this post method on emp-ins URL. That is what we have written in the code, if I'm not wrong, right? This is emp-ins, and I want to execute this insert command of post method. So here I'm writing the same thing. I'll click send, and I got the message called data inserted successfully. You can see here, line 1, response has been given as data inserted successfully. The same response that we were expecting, right? So now if I go to localhost, if I click on the employee table, you can see which code has been executed by it. Okay, I have not saved it. That's my mistake, guys. Sorry. I need to save it, and I'll just execute my node, and then I'll just go and execute it again. And let's refresh it. So now you can see 3 Raj R002 25,000 has been inserted in my database. So this is how you insert your data. Similarly, we work for update, right? We work for update. For update, we are using put method. I'm using this emp upt method URL, and I'm passing the ID that I want to update. And the same ID will be passed here. I'll say set e code equals to E00 E012, comma salary equals to 2,50,000, where ID equals to whatever ID I have passed at the top, right? If there is no error, I will get data updated successfully. If there is error, I will get the error message. So I'm writing only the employee code. Now, let's pass this URL again, UMPPT ID. I'll copy it. I'll go to my this Thunder client. I will say emp/upt. Okay, before that, I'll just save this, and my node mode will be executed automatically again. It has restarted automatically, so nothing to worry now. And then here in the request, I'm going to say I want to update for ID number 3, the latest ID that we have changed. Okay, so I send it. Okay, so there is some error. I need to change the method called put, because for update we are going to use put method. So now send it. So I got a message, data updated successfully. So now let's refresh our localhost. You can see for Raj E012 and the salary has been changed. So this is your update command. And similarly for delete command, we are going to use the delete method. And similarly, I am going to pass the ID. I'll write down the delete query. And similarly, if the delete operation has been made properly, then I'll write down delete success message. Otherwise, the error message. So let's go to this. I'll delete the same thing. So what is the ID that I do? What is the URL I need to use? empdel. So empdel, and I want to delete the third ID row, right? The ID, the row that contains ID equals to 3, I want to delete it. So I'll use delete method. I click send. I got the message delete success. Let's refresh the phpMyAdmin, and the row has been removed. Row has been removed. So this is your CRUD operation of Node actually, right? And the same program is available in the Word file that I already shared with you via email. Am I right? I hope you have received that Word file from my side. So this is your complete CRUD operation of Node, or I would say Node API, where we are executing this API code using the third-party tool or extension, either third client, Thunder client, or you can use Postman, whatever API executor you want, and just need to execute these applications on your own. So this is the CRUD operation of Node. I hope I am clear with this. Right? I hope I
Is
am clear
there
with this.
any reason to use put method for updation?
Sorry?
Is there any particular reason to use put method
Yes,
for updation?
yes. Because I want to put only specific data in a particular row, that's why I need to use put method. If I'm using post, it means I'm sending all the data back to the server. So post cannot be used for update method. That is the Node.js compatibility with all these methods. Fixed compatibility.
And sir, when we are sending ID, we were writing uh, gem ID. Instead of that, if we want to send more than one variable,
No,
so
you
for
cannot.
that,
You cannot.
so
There is some particular limitation of the node, so you cannot.
got it.
Yes, exactly. It works on your URL, not on pages. Any more queries, anyone? Okay, so with this, I end up this unit number 4, that is Node.js. We have seen the theory and working of Node. So with this, I end up this lecture. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day.